What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with the most recent physique update from Hosstile, aka Marcelo from Brazil. So he just landed in China. And it is kind of surprising that he kept things in the shadows while prepping for a show. Because based on his condition right now, it can easily be said that Hosstile is gonna do China Pro next. And that's a masterstroke by him in my opinion. Because no big name that is gonna go all the way to China to do this show and get their Olympia qualification. At least that is the case as of right now. So Hosstile doing that show, I think that is a great opportunity for him to not only get his first pro win, but also secure his first ever Olympia qualification in the men's open. Now Hosstile has posted very little in the last few months regarding any physique updates or any training updates. So he has been playing it very close to his vest. Now that being said, we do not know how focused he was for this prep. But if he looks anything close to his physique that he presented at the Big Man Weekend last year, where he placed a very close second behind Akeem Williams. And that was arguably the best condition of his career so far. So if he comes in anything like that, he is going to be very hard to beat here. And this is probably going to be his show to lose. Now he has some of the best quads in the entire men's open right now. Although he doesn't have the smallest waistline. Now that being said, he does a pretty good job hiding his weaknesses in terms of having a wide waistline by creating a vacuum and making that illusion of having a small waistline by making some posing adjustments. And lastly, we saw how he was able to fix his back, I'm gonna say tremendously, in just a few months after the Arnold, Ohio to last year's Big Man Weekend. And the fact that he brought superb conditioning. So combine all that and the man became a totally different and a very dangerous bodybuilder from the one we saw at the Arnold, Ohio last year to the way he showed up at the Big Man Weekend, especially from the back. Now his conditioning was also top notch. So he's gonna be the favorite to win this upcoming China Pro. And I must say that was a very smart move, going for a show with a more strategic approach. So I am sure by now all of you guys have seen the results of this year's Pro Classic Spain. So the scorecard for Spain Pro is now out. And first of all, a huge congratulations to Sazan Hirati for winning the second pro show of his career. Now he isn't the biggest guy in the men's open. He isn't the widest guy. But this season he proved to us all that he is one of the most consistent guys in the entire of open bodybuilding, or I'm gonna say IFBB Pro League right now. Especially when it comes to nailing his peak, show after show. I mean, this was his 6th show of the season. And somehow he was able to nail another peak with Chris Aceto. And that is why he won another pro show. Now let's take a look at the scorecards. So was it close between Sazan and Angel Calderon? Yes, it was extremely close at the end of the prejudging. And just 1 point separated Angel and Sazan Hirati. But Saz was still leading. So this proves to us one more thing. That Angel Calderon, that is one hell of a competitor, even though he's a 212 athlete. But competing in the men's open and giving a guy like Sazan Hirati a run for his money, that is a big achievement. Now I am curious to know how much Angel Calderon weighed here at this year's Pro Classic Spain, as he's gonna be doing the 212 at this upcoming Dubai Pro, which is happening this weekend. And the man is definitely one of the favorites to win that show. Now Angel Calderon has some very good shots. He did beat Sazan in the front and the back lat spread. And the other thing is Angel's ability to get hard as a rock, bring nasty kind of conditioning every single time. So great showing by him. But huge congratulations to Sazan one more time. He made a comeback last year after a gap of 5 years away from the stage. And he promised that he's gonna be on the Olympia stage in 2025. And what a way to get there with 2 pro wins. So do let me know what do you guys think about the results of this year's Pro Classic Spain. You have got to give the credit to Michael the Bull for living up to his own reputation, and that is the reputation of being the most shredded and the most conditioned guy in the entire classic physique division. So guys like Michael the Bull, they get insanely shredded front to back, and there are only a handful of guys who can achieve that level of conditioning. So we have Josema Beast. I'm gonna put Logan Franklin in there too, who get insanely ripped. But Michael the Bull is one of the only few guys out there, probably the only one, who uses that zero carbs approach leading into the show in that depletion phase, which is something many of the old school bodybuilding legends they used to do to get very dry and very ripped. So a guy who carries that much muscle mass, for him to embrace the suffering of doing zero carbs for 7 days straight, that must be a real struggle. And the main reason of him doing that is to address that digestion problem that he was having in the last couple of shows. And that is why his waistline that did not appear as streamlined or as small as it used to be when he was working with Patrick Tuor. But that being said, from today onwards, Michael the Bull is gonna cut down on the cardio as well as the training to bring down the inflammation and get his body primed for this upcoming Dubai Pro and go for the biggest paycheck of his career so far. Now, even when he was off at this past Arnold, and that was by his own standards, he was still so shredded and so detailed. So I think that isn't gonna be an issue for Michael the Bull this time around. So what he's trying to do here is bring that waist down and make his overall flow as pretty as he possibly can. Next up, we have a 17 weeks out physique update from the former 4 times men's physique Olympia champion, Jeremy. So he has already announced that this is gonna be the final competition of his career. And the biggest reason he's making this comeback is that he did not like the way he looked back at the Olympia 2023 when he made his comeback after a gap of 4 years. And he placed top 8 at that show. So him and the people around him, they were super confident for his 5th men's physique Olympia title. So the bodybuilding media and the fans, they did not even once consider Jeremy for the Olympia title one more time. I get that people were very excited for his comeback and they do want to see him back on the stage because he brings a lot of excitement in the men's physique. But I do not think any fan out there, they once thought that he's gonna be a title contender after taking 5 years off from competing. And it isn't just that he was taking time off from competing. The fact that he was taking care of so many injuries and he was facing so many problems in terms of his training and workouts too. It was kind of impossible for him to make a comeback and bring that same Olympia 2017 look and beat all the current men's physique guys who are at the top of their game, who are continuously pushing to get bigger and get better for all these years. Yes, he looks pretty damn big right now, but there are some weaknesses in his physique which multiple of the top Olympians at the moment, they're gonna exploit a lot. The biggest of them all, they are his abs. I mean his midsection that doesn't even come close to any of the top 6 guys in the men's physique division right now. And this has always been this way. So when he was dominating this division, he was so big up top, so wide, so round. And that is how he made up for his weaker midsection. Now this time he has been training his abs regularly. And he really thinks that he can do some serious damage at the last show of his career, which of course is going to be the Olympia this year. So Joan Pradells just uploaded this story on his IG, confirming his attendance at this upcoming China Pro. So this is going to be Hosstile versus Joan Pradells showdown. So that also means that Joan could have competed at this past Emperor Classic Spain. And we all saw how great he looked in his last physique update. So maybe he wasn't so confident competing against the likes of Sazan Herati and Angel Calderon. So this will be a very anticipated comeback and a very anticipated look from Joan Pradells because he hasn't competed in any show for 2 years now. And this will be the second only time he's gonna be stepping on the pro stage. So him taking 2 years to grow to get bigger into the men's open bodybuilding, that will certainly benefit him a lot. So after making his pro debut back in 2023, he knew he wasn't big enough at that time, and sooner or later, that big off season that was needed, and he made a great decision at the start of his career. So this will be a super battle between 2 guys, Hosstile and Joan Pradells, fighting to qualify for this year's Miss Olympia. And that is going to be their first ever Miss Olympia. Now great to see a show like China Pro getting some good competition even in the men's open. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.